the name's Brent Seach. I'm a painter and decorator. Have been for 33 years now, and run a small business in Albury-Wodonga.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on this Business Spotlight interview, Brent. Maybe if you could just start with introducing what it is that your business actually does.
Okay. Most people hear painter and decorator and they just assume lounge room wall, ceilings, those sorts. While we do some stereotypical painting, I tend to be more on the bespoke finish side of painting. So we do a lot of French washes, lime washes, just different finishes for different clients. So yeah, it's a bit of a niche market.
Yeah. So who would make an ideal client for you then?
Oh, well, greedily, anyone that thinks a $900 Fendi t-shirt is a wise investment would be a great client. But basically people that I tend to work more with interior designers than directly with clients. So they're trying to create themes, they're trying to create feelings, rather than just looking at painting as a necessary part of a solution to a problem.
Right. Okay. And so do you work more with residential or commercial or both? How does that work?
Both, but it heavily weighs towards the residential. So commercial, it tends to be smaller commercial, and it tends to be architect driven there. So the architect will actually ask for a finish. I'll be able to do that finish, and it's sort of, I'd lead the office side of it out. It's more towards the hospitality side of things we tend to do, where they're trying to create atmospheres. Yeah,
fantastic. So tell me, how did you actually get into this bespoke painting then?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. No, well, I'm what they call a Dulux accredited painter. So I've got the backing of Dulux Australia as a whole, with my work, all those sorts of things. And one of the companies that they have is called Porter's Paints. I'm not sure if anyone out there's heard of Porter's, but they're a fantastic company, do some gorgeous finishes, gorgeous colors. And I'm what they call a Porter's Guild member. So I'm the only guild member between Sydney and Melbourne, which means that I'm the only person that Porter's, the company, will actually recommend to do their work between Sydney and Melbourne.
Wow.
So
okay.
It keeps me reasonably busy.
Yeah. Yeah. So you do a bit of travel then?
Yeah, I do selected travel. I don't want to sound like a snob and say I'm only doing it, but I've got to be mindful of local clients too. So you have to make sure that while things may be shiny and sunny in Melbourne and Sydney, that I don't neglect my core customer base.
Yeah, yeah. And so do you have much competition in this bespoke area then?
I honestly don't know. We're sort of competing more against overall budgets than other people, like other people doing these types of finishes. There are certain finishes that are very competitive. I don't do them with Venetian plasters. In the capital cities, I think I'd get a lot more competition, but there'd also be a lot more work. So you're sort of making that trade-off. But as far as competition goes, I tend not to pay a great deal of attention to competitors. I'm just worried about the product I'm putting out and the experience I'm giving the customer.
Yeah. Okay. No, fantastic. And so, Brent, what would you say is the biggest challenge that you're actually facing in business right now?
The movement of the market seems to be before your eyes at the moment, whereas once upon a time you'd see trends moving over time. But customer attitude at times can be a little bit worrying. Basically because of the wait times that are involved with getting a trade now. Anyone that's tried to get any trade in the last 2.5 years will know that everyone is very heavily booked. So just keeping those people excited about their job and not frustrated that it's not getting done today. That'd be the biggest challenge.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And when you think about your journey in business,
Yeah.
what's been some of the biggest learnings that you've actually had about business? And then secondly, about yourself?
Oh, wow. We could stay here for a while on that one. In business, it will pass. Like the amount of work we have at the moment will pass. There's trends. Man, you've got me really thinking now. It's well, we'll go to what I've learned about myself. I've learned that things are never as bad as I think they are. I can always handle it. Okay, so everyone gets anxious, everyone gets stressed, but usually the thought of what is coming up is worse than actually doing it, or dealing with that situation or whatever is worse than actually doing it. So just learning to probably be a little easier on myself, be a little more mindful. But as far as business goes, just try to treat yourself and your business completely separate entities. Don't get the two up. When I walk in the door, I'm no longer Brent Seach Painter. I'm Brent Seach. I'm Brent. You know, I'm a husband. I'm a father. All those sorts of things. So just trying to make sure that I draw that line, because it got very blurry once and it can get very messy.
Yeah. And why is that important to you?
As in distinguishing between the two?
Yes. Separating.
Well, because I work to live. I don't live to work. So while I love what I do, I love creating. I get to be creative as a painter and decorator, which is very unusual. But I also think I've done really, really well with my partner. I think she's amazing, and I want to spend time with her. I want to spend time with my kids, but I've got to be able to be present with them rather than thinking about work. Do you know what I mean? Like, as tradies, we tend to get caught up in our own head.
Yeah.
So it's more about making sure that I'm when I'm with them, not with them in person, but mentally somewhere else.
Yeah. So it's about being present, finding that real balance between, totally into the business and having the ability to switch off as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. And sometimes we need to push.
Yeah.
Sometimes work dictates that, okay, we've got to have a bit of a go here, but you've just got to make time later on. You can't constantly burn that candle at both ends.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody that was thinking about going into business, Brent, based on your own experience?
I would 100%. You'll never. If you're working for yourself, you'll never work a day in your life. It's everything you're doing is for the betterment of you and your family, rather than. I'm not saying working on wages is bad. It'd be really good if you could do a business apprenticeship in the type of business that you want to run. I think that was the fantastic thing I had was I got to see a really successful painting business run by someone that made it so ridiculously simple.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. It was just so simple. And they were just such easy steps to follow. Give it a go. And don't be afraid to fail. It's as someone that this is my second go at running a painting business. Don't be afraid, because the worst case scenario, you're going to find out how not to do it.
Absolutely. And I guess the important thing is that you learn from your mistakes and, for that next time round.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So what keeps you getting out of bed every morning? How do you keep yourself motivated?
Keep myself motivated. I mean, the Reserve Bank of Australia just gave me a fantastic reason to get out of bed about an hour and a half ago, raising those interest rates. So, but getting me out of bed, I love doing what I do. I mean, unlike a lot of other jobs, once my job is finished, I can actually look back at my day and go, wow, I did that.
Yeah.
And I can drive past a number of streets and go, wow, that's still looking amazing. I see people down the street and you get recommendations from friends, and those types of things are just really, I don't know, it just makes your day feel really, really worthwhile. And that makes you
Yeah. So you actually get to see the fruits of your labor through the work that you do.
Yeah, 100%. I tried for 3 long months. I tried to stop being a tradie. I tried to work in an office, and I really struggled, for me personally, with looking back at my day and just thinking, what have I done?
Yep.
What have I done? I'm a very visual person. So unless I could see it, I just didn't feel like I'd done anything.
Yeah. All right. So one final question then is, if you were to start the business again, would you do anything differently?
Absolutely not. If it wasn't for the way I'd stuffed it up the first time, if it wasn't for all the things that it just wouldn't be where it is at the moment. And I'm just so happy with how it's going, the service I can provide to clients, the finishes I can do. I'm just so over the moon with how it's going that I would hate to tempt fate and try to re-roll the rock. And I think I've been
Okay. And any final words of wisdom that you'd like to share with anybody that might be watching this video?
Words of wisdom. Wow. Just be patient. If you're in a rush to do anything, be in a rush to be patient. It doesn't have to happen overnight. Just work, and go easy on yourself. You know, you're not meant to be, as a small business owner, we seem to put on so many caps and seem to think we have to be so many things. You don't have to. Just be exceptionally good at one thing and everything else will fall into place.
Great words of advice there, Brent. Thank you so much for joining us on this Business Spotlight interview today. Thanks. Bye.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me. Thanks. Bye.